I feel like a lot of people are aware of Patsy Cline's story, and a lot of people are aware of Loretta Lynn's life story, but not many people are aware of how close they were and the special friendship that they had towards the end of Patsy's life.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea about the friendship. I knew, like you said, I knew a little bit about each lady and sort of like, you know, the icons they were in country music, but not about the friendship. That was a total surprise to me.
Yeah.
And one of the things I love most about the script.
Yeah.
What made you want to be a part of this movie?
For me, it was the script. It was all about, like, yes, of course, it was thrilling and slightly terrifying to take on a role of not only a real person, but an icon and a legend. That's putting that aside. At the core, this is a story about two friends that loved and supported each other in an industry that you would assume that they were in, like, crazy competition with each other. But it turns out that it was just the opposite. And I don't think stories like this are told often enough. I think people like to assume that audiences like to watch women fighting and tearing each other down. Whereas this just proves the opposite. You can still have a loving, supportive relationship that is not without its complications and
like
turmoil.
any relationship.
And it's still interesting.
Yeah. And I think it's actually more true to life. I think as women, that's really what we experience more. I think when we experience the opposite, it's because we're modeling behavior that we've seen portrayed somewhere that's not really our reality.
Yeah.
Like, we know we're each other's best allies. We just do. We know it intrinsically.
Yeah.
I felt like you guys really got into character, like the hair and the wardrobe and the Southern accents. Tell me about what it was like what lengths did you go to really get into character?
Well, certainly the hair and makeup and wardrobe and props, like all those details were instrumental in doing that. I feel like every day when our wigs came on, we were like, oh, there they are. Or like when my eyebrows went on, I was like, oh, there's Patsy. Yeah, all of those details are so important. It was actually one of my very first questions when I was talking about doing this. I said, what is the plan for the wigs? Because if we don't put a lot of money and effort into some good wigs, it doesn't matter what we do because people will just be fixated on a bad wig. And there were so much about their hair, like so much of...
I mean, it was quite the period.
Yeah, their image was wrapped up in their hair, you know, so that was a huge deal. And so there was a lot of research and a lot of work going into all of those details, and I think it was monumentally important, and it really paid off. If you see the movie, just as a picture, even if you just turn the sound off, it just looks beautiful because all of those details are handled with such care.
Yeah, it takes you back. You really do feel like you're witnessing something from another time and place, but in a very relatable way. It's cool. Even just walking on the set every day was so informative.
Yeah.
Because those people are doing their work outside of the work you're doing as an actor. So you get to walk on the set and you go, oh, this is my home. This tells me so much. And look what the set dresser's done. Look what the props people have done. Like it takes such a team to make it all come together. And you get to. We were really fortunate in that we had such a great team. And we knew that we could all rely on each other to, like, everybody was bringing their A game, and I think that that's one of the things that lifted it up and made us all feel like you know, we had what we needed to do the best job that we could.
I feel like you guys did such a great job of translating their bond on screen, like showing that you guys have such great chemistry.
That's so nice to hear. We really didn't know each other. We had met once before.
Yeah. But we had two.
Was it written in the stars?
It was written in the stars.
I don't know, Megan.
Well,
I don't know. It just kind of clicked.
You know, it's one of those things where, like, and everybody knows what this feels like. At least I hope everybody knows what this feels like. When you meet when you find a friend, when you meet someone, and it's just easy. Like there's just an immediate shorthand, and that's what it was like meeting Jessie. And I was warned of that by we have two very close mutual friends, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is
gonna work.
This makes
y'all
sense.
are gonna
you
click."
guys are and
that's just kind of how I imagined it happening for them.
Totally. Yeah.
It's just those moments. Some people you just kind of fit with, and you're meant. I think these two were meant to meet.
Absolutely.
And they both learned a lot, I think, from the friendship, and benefited a lot from the friendship. And you know, there were times where they really challenged each other, times where they totally had each other's back. It was
And
they
fought.
didn't
And they fought
and
with
they
each
didn't
other.
know each other
Not
that long.
fight, but yeah.
But it was a real relationship.
Yeah.
And I think it just the sense we got and the sense from the families, it was just so important to those two women. It meant a great deal.
I loved that their daughters were both co-producers.
Yeah.
in the film. I mean, that's really close to home. Like, that's really great to have. What was it like working with them?
Well, first of all, it was when you're dealing with people's real lives, you want to make sure that you're handling it with the most care, because you don't want to.
And that you have their blessing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't even want to touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah,
Let's
it
be
doesn't
honest.
feel right.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It's somebody's life.
It wouldn't feel right to me, for sure. So to hear that not only did we have their blessing, but that they were producers on the film, I think that took a lot of, I don't know.
Kind of weight off. It
Yeah.
felt like, well, we've got great people. We've got sort of the best people looking out for this project and the information that's going into it.
Yeah.
And we know that it's going to be handled with care and handled with respect, because,
they're not going to let us do anything that would go against their legacy. You know, like.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So it felt like we were in a safe space.
Yeah.
You know, it felt like everything had already had its proper blessing, so we could safely do our job without that extra worry.
But it was a wild day because we met them on set one day.
Gosh.
We were literally dressed as their mothers.
moms. It was just so weird.
And,
Isn't that weird?
And it was kind of, it was not an intense day, but like we were doing a performance sequence, and and then at one point someone sort of brought us over to the side. We had a little moment. They were resetting, and they said, "Well, Patsy and Julie are here, so if you guys would like to meet them," and we were like,
now.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, this
yeah.
moment.
How's my hair?
This is their
Oh,
mom.
I look like their.
Oh, right. I look
like
okay.
her mom.
If
Okay,
this
great.
isn't too weird for them,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but they were so
They
sweet
were
and
so
so
lovely.
wonderful and so supportive.
And
yeah.
they're, I mean, gosh, at this point, it's not the first time that
No.
that someone has taken a dramatic interpretation of their family's lives. So
Yeah.
they were so gracious to us and so kind and warm. It was very cool. I don't know if she knows this, Loretta. We did go to your birthday party.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
because
So did like 50,000
people.
closest
She had a
friends, you
very
know.
big birthday bash
Yeah.
in Nashville while we were filming there.
Right.
And her daughter Patsy Lynn hooked us up with friends and family passes. So after we were done filming that day, and remember the hair and makeup gals
They
got us all dolled up.
Dolled up. Yeah.
Teresa was like, "You're not going like
guys
that.
did
Come
not
here. I'm
go
putting a
in
curling
costume?
iron in your hair."
Well, because under
not
those
go in
wigs,
costume,
they're wrapped, and then like there's
But you're, like,
dark.
shellacked
Yeah, and there was
into-
dark ink in.
Oh, yeah, right,
in
your
my
roots were all
roots,
darkened.
so that my blonde hair wouldn't stick through. Yeah, I looked a mess without like taking off all that stuff. So
it was
already.
it was
yeah.
very cool. It was like a who's who of country royalty,
Yeah.
and just to see everybody. She was there sitting on the side of the stage. Everybody just wishing her well.
Yeah.
Before anybody came up and
so
sang,
cool.
they
It
came
was
across the
really
stage
cool.
and just gave her
Yeah.
a big hug. It was so.
That's
Yeah.
really exciting.
And
to
backstage, it was a love fest. You know, like I've heard a whole bunch about like, oh, country music, everybody loves each other and stuff, and you're like, okay, but I didn't know to really believe that. And then when
Then
we
you see
were
it.
actually back there, seeing these like country superstars just fawning over each other, and like it was a big love
with their
fest. It was
families
like,
and
yeah,
stuff.
with their
Saw that,
families,
yeah.
yeah. It was really awesome.
If you love that video, you're going to love everything on the Access YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it. Now. Thanks.